In the northwestern part of Bosnia and Herzegovina, where the east and west collide, in the valley of the rivers Una and Krušnica, the gemstone of Krajina was born, the city of magnificent nature and good people, Bosanska Krupa. Below the old city, on the bend beneath the hill Hum, where Una cuts the area in two, and where her lost backwaters make the beautiful little islands called Ade, the city has developed. At an altitude of 176 meters, Bosanska Krupa covers the area of 556 square kilometers with a population of 30,000 inhabitants. According to the legend, the name originates from a Slavic word Krupa. However, one of the most documented meanings is related to the girl Krupana, who was the founder of the old city, the tower on the hill of the river islands. Bosanska Krupa is mentioned in the prehistoric times, where the territory of the present municipality was formed in the Middle Ages. In the 10th century, it became a part of the region called Pset, whose name was lost 3 centuries later. The tower, old city, is mentioned in the 13th century without the information about the builders. The legend says that it was built by the girl Krupana, which is why Krupa becomes the royal city. The period from April 1992 to September 1995 takes a special place in the history of Bosanska Krupa. The city was occupied, its population expatriated, and the materials and goods almost destroyed, and the fate of a considerable number of inhabitants became difficult, harsh, and uncertain. Every resident of the city Bosanska Krupa who was expatriated for 1,244 days, unfairly and cruelly separated from their homes, have engraved in their hearts the September 17th, 1995, the day of liberation of Bosanska Krupa and the return to their homes. That day, the sadness due to incomprehensible abducted town, the refugee suffering, hundreds of lives lost, thousands of separated families, millions of tears, stopped. The river Una was crossed and Bosanska Krupa residents have returned to their homes, there where they belong. Rarely seen enthusiasm started the renewal of life and the confidence of the city, which was among the 3 most devastated cities in Bosnia and Herzegovina. About 10,000 of homes were rebuilt. War, injustice, and devastation of religious and institutions of culture, historical heritage, and sport was removed. Together with the 60 mosques and Orthodox churches, 6th century-old Catholic Church was restored. The symbol of the city was returned, the mosque, the Catholic Church and the Orthodox Church in the city center standing side by side, together with the return of its population, was the best way to certify the openness of the city. Also, the certification of the city openness showed the restoration of the only mosque built on the river island in Bosanska Otoka, which was firstly built in 1565. Although it was hard to compensate the material, population and human handicap, reconstruction and development projects supported by the international organization and agencies were realized very fast. Hundreds of kilometers of road and electricity networks were reconstructed and built. Almost all of the municipal area was connected by the road and was supplied with drinking water. Bosanska Otoka, with the new building of the cultural center and all infrastructural facilities, received a new look, and also the local communities Pištaline, Jezerski, Mahmit Selo, Arapuša, Veliki Badić, Mali Badić, Jesenica, Veliki Radić, Mali Radić, Zalin. All primary and secondary schools, hospital and the building of the cultural center, which is one of the oldest buildings in the city, dating back to early period of the last century, were re-established. Local government, based on the principles of the European Charter of the Local Government and the fundamental values and principles of good governance, is being developed with the basic objective to become a modern service for citizens and the main driver of local economic and social development. A modern building of local government was built and working conditions of all departments were improved. The project Business Zone Pilana has already given a recognition of the Bosanska Krupa economy. The zone was created as a result of resolving the fate of the network of the wooden industry, UNA, and by the motto "Welcome investors" and also open the perspectives of development and more job openings. Krupa Kabine, with a permanent expansion and employment, have become an example of successful privatization, opening over 200 jobs. Also, there is the company Bosankar, then Zah, Unasana Forests, Smrča, with finalization of production in the wood processing industry. And also business centers which are providing multi-million-dollar investments. The establishment of the Center for the Development of Innovation, Improvement of Business and Manufacturing Processes of the Center for the Promotion and Enterprise Development, together with the certification for getting the status of the municipalities with favorable business environment, Bosanska Krupa became recognized as one of the most attractive locations for implementations of investment projects on the available resources, investment potential, and new proactive approach in creating a concrete and prestigious business environment. Bosanska Krupa ensures that through the projects of implementation for improving the business and competitive environment with the IFC, the World Bank Group, and the program certification with favorable business environment, which includes reducing bureaucracy and obtaining all necessary documents for businessmen and potential investors in business planning and investment decisions. The development of agricultural production made Bosanska Krupa recognizable. Today, Bosanska Krupa is the first in the production of milk, berries, vegetables, and honey. Bosanska Krupa becomes a city of small fairs. The fairs are held by the producers of honey, berries, milk, vegetable, fruit, who are the outline of healthy food and the insurance of the development programs and better living conditions. Tourism resources are put into development with the aim of organizing a full day of tourism on the rivers Una and Krušnica, then the excursions, the rural and recreational tourism, as well as the preservation of cultural and natural heritage. Fishing, fly fishing, and hunting attract many domestic and foreign tourists. The Hunt for the Queen of Una is an event which brings together the best fishermen in the country and the region. The special natural phenomenon is the source of the river Krušnica, which is located 7 kilometers from the city, and also the entire course of the river. In this context, Project Šunovac was implemented together with Unasana Forest and the company Zacht, and it is a recognized resort for resting and recreation. The Project Green Islands is implemented within the framework of cross-border cooperation and with the support of the European Union. Maleade have received a new look with reconstructed and new bridges, hiking trails, facilities for recreation, socializing and gaming activities for the youngest. The whole place is a viable tourist site in which each island has its use. With its 16 bridges on the rivers Una and Krušnica, we can rightfully say that Bosanska Krupa is the city of bridges. Its unselfishness the nature reveals in the canyon of the river Una, from Grmša to Bosanska Krupa. The touristic product was developed there, called Una Canyon, for cyclists, walkers and nature lovers. It completes the beauty that the watermills give to the city center and downstream to Bosanska Otoka. These watermills are not only a decoration, but also the guardians of the tradition, authenticity, and the symbols of the past times, and gathering places for writers, painters, poets, and photographers. The attraction of this tourist destination is also provided by planned management for selected urban green areas and the beacon status to the municipality in the field of waste management. Sport has returned in Bosanska Krupa. The football clubs Bratstvo, Sloga and Željezničar, and also a female football club Željezničar, are the proof that sport is a way of living in Bosanska Krupa. A stadium was built in the center of Bosanska Krupa, which revived many sport and sport tournaments. There are also the basketball club, diving and canoe club Kormoran, karate clubs, dance club Hypnotic, whose performances and competitions have opened a new window to the world. Bosanska Krupa proudly preserves its traditional values, the memory of those who gave the most to her present. Special testament to the city center, a joint city plaque for 503 war veterans, and the memorial cemetery in Jezerski and Pišteline. The memory of its citizen, Mehmet Džemaluddin Čaušević, the first race in Bosnia and Herzegovina, is preserved and cherished by the renovation and construction of his memorial house in his native Arapuša, and with the encounters of the pilgrims, which are announcing the perspective of religious tourism. Then we have to mention Kosta Hakman, Enver Krupić, Lazar Drljača, Branko Ćopić, Safet Krupić, and Boško Karanović, and also the Krušnica colony, which has entered its 5th decade of existence. Bosanska Krupa, in a proper sense of the word, is a pearl on the rivers Una and Krušnica. Because of its unique natural beauty, unspoiled nature, cultural and historical legacy, and especially people who are willing to work and prosper, and the implementation of reconstruction and development projects. Without exaggeration, we can say that this is the city of love, pride, and defiance.